Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you like the content, like and share it. It would be much appreciated. So today, the video we're doing is 5 tips for new parents. Despite the title, this can also be for reoccurring parents, depending on whether you're brave enough to go through the sleepless nights and crying in the corner by yourself. No, I'm playing with you. It's not that bad.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. So a disclaimer, these tips are tips that me and my partner have learned, my words. These are different things that me and my partner have learned through experience, researching on the internet, tips from other people, and then basically just learning things as we go. And just to put it out there, none of these tips, I repeat, none of these tips are 100% fact. It's just different things that have worked for us and different things we have worked out. Something I want everyone to remember is that every baby and every parent is different. So different situations are going to have different needs. Some babies are going to need more comfort, whereas some babies can be left alone to basically calm themselves down. So without me talking too much, let's jump to tip number 1. Wash your hands. Keep a hand sanitizer near, some wipes, or just be able to wash your hands no matter what before you interact with your baby, especially if you've been touching other objects like your phone, you've been outside or quarantine right now. So yeah, if you've been outside, make sure you have a good wash. When other people want to touch your baby, keep a hand sanitizer near. Some people would like to be a bit weird about that. I remember when me and my partner first had our little one, we asked someone to wash their hands or use the hand sanitizer, and they gave us like a sort of a look. It's more to protect the baby than anyone else, and no matter what, everyone should understand and respect that, because if that baby's ill, you're going to be looking after it, and it's not nice to see your child ill no matter what. My baby is 3 months old, so if I'm talking I sound like I have years experience. I do not. I'm a new parent. I just want to put that out there. As I said, these tips are my opinions and nothing else. Tip number 2, too much attention. Now, I assume this when the baby was first born, is that you can give a baby too much attention, but from doing research and just realizing a baby can never have too much attention. If they're going to be a whingy baby, they're going to whinge. If they're going to cry, they're going to cry. That's their way of communicating with you as the parent, and that's their only way. They can't speak. All they can do is cry, and if they need attention, that is what they need. But on the other hand, your baby can take advantage of that, so don't be too lenient. And as they get progressively older, I'd say from the ages of 3 months onwards, as I've realized, they start to learn where they can take advantage and really play up on them crying and whinging. It's funny because the amount of times when I've picked him up, put him back down, and he starts crying. But you know what? He likes SpongeBob. That's what matters. Tip number 3. Okay, so when we first had our baby and we was leaving the hospital, the nurses and the doctors, they told us that we should only feed him, I think it was 0.5 milliliters, if I'm correct. The measurement's probably wrong, and then progressively give him more throughout the day. Now, this little boy did not want to follow by the guidelines. He did not like the rules at all.
See, now that's some bullshit.
He was crying constantly. We'd change his nappy. We'd try to comfort him. He would not agree with none of it. So my tip for this is feed your baby whenever they are hungry. Yes, your child can throw up if they've eaten too much. Be wary and careful of that. But if you are not feeding your baby, then that's going to make it a lot worse for the child, because they're going to be in a lot of pain from being hungry. And from when a doctor says or a nurse has said, oh, you should only give them a certain amount of food and feed them a certain amount of times, I'm going to be honest with you, that's total. Feed the baby whenever he's hungry. So that's the main point to that tip. If your baby's hungry, give him some food. Or her, give her some. This tip is one of the most important tips out of all of these tips on this video. Tip number 4. When you can sleep. I promise you, you will not regret it. The reason why you need to sleep is because when you sleep, you can rejuvenate your body, your energy, and when people get tired, they tend to get cranky and more aggressive and touchy. This avoids a lot of stuff. The amount of times I have been tired and not slept when the baby is sleeping, and then I've woken up because he's needed a changing or a feeding, and I just kind of wanted to wring his neck.
どうしたさっきの勢いは
But I can't because it's a baby and I love him. Doesn't mean I didn't want to do it. And it's okay to be upset and it is okay to cry. I didn't cry personally myself. My partner may have a few times, but again, I'm a supporting parent, and I feel like the person who gives birth, the woman, your partner, they have it a lot harder because of everything that they do go through, and it is a very hard and amazing time for them. So their emotions are going to be up and down because of everything that's going on with their body. So allow them to get sleep if you are the supporting parent, and that is a very important tip because sleep deprivation can lead to depression. So guys, make sure everyone sleeps. Tip number 5, constipation and gas. So by gas, I mean burping. A suggestion for that would be when feeding the child, have regular breaks within the feed. So I'd say it's at least 3 to make sure there's no complications at the end of the feed, of just winding the child either over your shoulder, on your lap where you support the chest and the neck, or by sitting them up and then holding them by the chest and supporting the head. Also, another thing that we tried which didn't really work out for us was gripe water or Infocol, which would cause him to, he would either wouldn't take it or he'd end up throwing up after each feed. So personally, I do not suggest them, just regular winding throughout the feed. However, different things work for different people. So if you want to try the Infocol and the gripe water, then be my guest. So constipation. I remember when we first left the hospital and the doctor said we shouldn't feed the child water because this could fill them up without giving them the nutrients they need, whereas within the milk they would get the nutrients. Now, our child was on both breast milk and formula, and with this he still became slightly constipated where he wasn't going to the toilet as much as he should have been. So what I ended up doing was giving him water before each feed. So a part of that feed, I would take half an ounce or an ounce away, depending on how much he was eating, and that did help. But for a emergency, so I'd say from the when he was around 2 months, he got really bad, or just 1 month and a half, he got really bad with his constipation, and I ended up blending up some apples, putting and diluting that with water, and then basically feeding him a little bit of that, and then I gave him his bottle, which helped a huge amount. He went to the toilet not so long afterwards and he was fine. Just another warning, they do suggest you should not give a child juice, the apple juice or prune juice. Please, if you're going to do this, make sure you home make it if you can. I don't know where you can buy prunes. I haven't tried the prune juice, but they suggest from 2 months and above is the line, or even some websites and some pages do say 6 months. So if you are going to feed your baby that stuff, please be careful. A few more small tips for constipation would be rotating the baby's legs in a cycling motion. Also rubbing the child's stomach with like a soft massage to try and help the bowels activate. Or you could have put the baby in a warm bath, which could help soothe the muscles and help them release. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. As I said at the beginning of the video, like, comment, and subscribe would be much appreciated, and enjoy your day. And I hope you and your baby's journey is a safe one.